So as you all know, the session's title is Sabbaticals and Fellowships in Corporates. We have two eminent people from the CSR fraternity with us today. Ms. Suja Warriar, uh, she is Manager HR, also Diversity, Inclusion and CSR Employee Engagement from Infosys. And we have, yeah, is it better? Yeah. So we have Ms. Suja Warriar from Infosys. She takes care of diversity and inclusion, employee engagement, and CSR. We also have SriLalit Mohan ji from SBI Foundation. He's the CEO and President. So I'll start with a brief introduction about our eminent speakers, and we just then switch over to a brief presentation by them. Ms. Suja Warriar is a postgraduate with diploma in management from Symbiosis, Pune. She works with Infosys Limited in a managerial role, as I told, in diversity and inclusion, HRD at Infosys. She's also leading the volunteering in CSR and environmental initiatives at organization level. Ms. Suja Warriar has 25 years of experience in corporate functions, and she herself had taken sabbatical for 2 years in a tribal community in Bodo land near Indo-Bhutan border in the state of Assam. So welcome, Ms. Suja Warriar. We'll just have a presentation from her, and then we will have Mr. Lalit ji talking about SBI Foundation initiatives. Yeah, over to you, Ms. Suja.
Quite happy to be here. I always feel whenever I attended any of the CSR conference, I feel like I'm meeting all my family members because it is so much in me. And you cannot take CSR from me, whatever role I play in Infosys. And I am a part of diversity and inclusion. I take care of some of the PWD initiatives and gender and other aspect. But CSR was always there. Maybe way back when nobody even heard about CSR, I started working on some of the projects on a personal basis. So I thought I will show some slides, maybe the pictures. Out of thousands and thousands of pictures I have taken over this period, I have taken only 4 to 5 pictures. Each picture I can talk for hours or I can talk for days because each picture represents my work in that space for years of my work. And you don't believe how much I got benefit out of my work as an individual, because I keep telling people that do volunteering along with your work, because that is something which makes you so different. Not only people come to me saying that I want to do some volunteering, I want to change the world. Nobody is going to change the world. We cannot do anything. Absolutely no way we can change the world. We can change ourselves because so much of work is outside, and do something and make yourself as a change agent. Maybe someday or other something positive will happen to the community, and because of the community we are here. Because of the community I am standing here and talking, because there is somebody who is receiving whatever I am giving. Otherwise I am not here, and I represent those community who helped me to grow as an individual. Otherwise I would not have been here. And I started my work in Infosys way back, 25 years back. 25 is a long period. Everybody else, people ask why you stayed back in that company. I stayed back in the company because company had given me everything I wanted. They have given me everything I asked. They have given me time. They have given me whatever I said, they accepted. They accepted me as what I am. And I lived my life. I never felt that I'm going for work. I was enjoying and I'm doing something which I like to do. So along with my regular work, I started volunteering for some of the small things. Internally, I can say that I work for some of the things like a notebook drive, maybe 16 years back in a school. 4 or 5 people sat together and decided, okay, we'll do some collection of money, distribute some notebooks and all that. Started with that. Then I'll talk about the slides which I have kept. Only some 4 or 5 words I put it. So that actually maybe 2-3 years later, I found that I'm officially doing it because they realized that, okay, if you give permission, it can scale up. So maybe by 4 to 5 years' time, it became one of the largest employee volunteering program in the corporate world, with almost 1,000, 2,000, 4,000 people volunteering for this. And if you ask me what is the difference we make, we do not make any difference because we are just giving and going and giving 5 books to a child. Children are anyway getting textbooks, uniform, everything. the books we are giving, but it makes a difference to so many volunteers participated. They came with me, we went to different places of Karnataka, Pune, Maharashtra, wherever you name it. Every DC had thousands of volunteers traveling Saturdays and Sundays, distributing Saturdays half day, because we don't allow them to work on working days. Saturdays they traveled, they distributed books. And when you hand over a book to a child in a school, so these people also, all of them are living in a computer comfort zone of Infosys. They are also realizing the need of the child. So maybe they will go back and work in the school, or they may even try to get some school bags from their personal side and hand over to the child. Or they may start working with the school on a permanent basis every Saturday or something. So that made a difference. And I can tell a story. One of the girls, recently I met in some of the forum, some of these conversations. And she says she met me from building 8 to building 20. I walked with her. I don't want to name it. She was going and I was having some program which I was angry. So after that I was rushing to the bus stop, I believe. So she got hold of me and said, what did you do there? I said, this is something which I did. And in that 20 minutes, whatever I explained changed her life. And she started thinking about it, and she now moved to Kolar and she's doing some project with the children of mining community or something. So she said, you just changed me. So maybe that is a change I made, and there are so many Sujas out there working for various projects, and that is the thing. So I just started with one. This slide is very important for me. I'll come back to this slide later. Maybe come to the next slide, please. Yeah, this is something 2005, whenever the tsunami happened, there are thousands of people moved from Bangalore to Nagapattinam because everybody wanted to see what is happening there. Not for the volunteering, they just wanted to see because there is an option to go. So thousands of people moved. I also moved with a group of people. I went there. I went immediately, not immediately after tsunami, maybe after 1 week. Because I wanted to learn something, if at all I want to stay back and work. So I decided to stay back and work. But what happened is when I was going, one girl said, we'll stay back, I'll stay with you. We'll stay back for some time. But what happened later is when we went there 2 days, we did some survey. We did some work and came back. But in the meantime, I got some contacts there from UNICEF, which I found there in one of the seashore. So what happened, the girl who is supposed to stay with me, she said she wanted to come back. There is no work and the survey, I'll come back and do the survey. Everybody was doing survey. Everybody was giving it to somebody and going. Nobody is using that paper and like that. So then they are giving some old clothes, which the villagers are throwing it away, and rice and other things. So next day, everybody was leaving. Nobody was with me. I wanted to stay back. I told everybody, at least one person, stay back with me. I don't know this place. I don't know where to stay. I got some dress and all that. I'm planning to stay here. So they said, no, we don't want to stay. Everybody went. 2 buses, I decided to stay back. I was standing in the Nagapattinam bus stand in the night. Our buses were going, 3 or 4 buses were going with all the volunteers. And I stood there. And after some time, I was thinking what to do because I met some people. Maybe I'll go back and connect with them. Standing there, one bus stopped, Infosys bus. One guy came out, a very new employee of Infosys. And he said, I have no interest to work in volunteering, CSR, Nagapattinam and all that. I just came out because I don't want you to be alone. So I want to stay with you. That was a minute for me. That was a defining moment for me because I said, I have somebody with me. Come, we'll find a way out to stay here or whatever work we can do. We stayed back, we carried the dead bodies, we given a respectful cremation, and I don't know what all I did there. I did a lot of work. I met some of the people, Revati Radhakrishnan and all that. Then finally, they have ended up with a school called Vanaville, which is now running. It's one of the largest good school, international school in Nagapattinam. I keep going. You can see my daughter playing with at that point of time. She used to come with me the weekends and she plays with me. She stays in the school and all that. So that is the kind of start of my big work, big project I have taken. Can you change? So this is another project which I have taken because of the Nagapattinam and other connections. What happened is I connected with the Children Without Borders. A group of people from US came to Gandhi Peace Foundation Sabarmati Ashram, and they found that I am a contact point for some of this work. They met me and they put me as an India coordinator, and I work with them. I used to live in Gandhi River Stadium for making this happen. This is one of the largest greeting card made by children for the children of Pakistan, and we traveled across India, displayed in all the stadiums in India. Maybe it was much ahead of the time. If we do it now, maybe social media or another would have picked up. But at that point of time, nobody was there to promote the work. We did it, and it went to Pakistan, Gaddafi Stadium. It displayed. We got an invite to attend community the program. I could not go because my visa got rejected. My team has gone. They went there at that time, Mushaf or somebody. So it was good, and it was very nice. And I got a lot of experience and a lot of exposure to the outside volunteering part, not in India. And next one. This is one of the notebook drive which I said, and I also started something called a Samarpana Trust in Infosys, founded in the Infosys address. That is very particular. I found a trust in Infosys address, and we can give the ATG receipt for employees' contribution. Usually companies won't do that. Employee contribution can be accepted and give a receipt for them. So this is something which I formed, and then it was a big event. It was a big project, and now even today it is happening, and a lot of volunteerism is happening. Many people are doing a lot of things in this space. So there is a trust, and this is picture I have taken in Bodoland. The children, we hand over bags, school bags, notebooks, and now all the laptops are also getting into distributed to the schools. So my slides are very simple, okay. The simple pictures, no glossy pictures, designs, nothing. Just 2-3 pictures, and each picture can talk hours. I can talk. So this one is the one which I went to Infosys Community Empathy Sabbatical. If the policy has come, as soon as the policy has come and when they announced, everybody thought I will be the first person to take the policy option. But I ignored it. I said, time comes, I'll go. At that time, I was working with a lot of organizations in Bangalore, Karnataka, wherever. But I don't want to work in any of these projects in Bangalore because again, it will be connected with Infosys. I just want to cut away from Infosys and go somewhere. So I sent a mail to one of my friends saying that I wanted to go very far for this community empathy. I want to take. It took 3 years to decide the project because by the time so many people have taken sabbatical, I will talk about it later. People have taken sabbatical. Infosys sabbatical policy is very simple. You can take 6 months to 1 year. Leave. Company will a percentage of 50% or something company will give us a salary. You can use that money as a safe net. You don't have to take money from the organization whom you are working because if you get it well and good, you can disclose to company or not, no problem. But company will give a payment for you to manage because if you are not getting salary from there or minimum salary or something, you are used to this high money, big money. So it's a kind of safe net and we can take it and we can work. A company will not ask what project you are doing and all that. You can pick up whatever project, your time, skill, everything you can use. So I got a call from one of the organization in Assam, Bodoland, saying that they have a vacancy for an administrative officer with a salary of 8,000. I said, I'm willing to come. Then I sent a message to them saying that I have a daughter of 7 years. She has to get admitted somewhere. What is the option? They said, there is a Bodo medium school, you can put her there. I said, okay, fine. We'll see. But you don't believe Dr. Sunil called. I have never seen such a sharper person in my life. Maybe I can say after Mr. Murthy I have seen so sharp. Beyond that, he's so sharp. Dr. Sunil called. He called me and said he is in Bangalore. 1 week he's there. I want to meet you and I wanted to have an introduction and interview. I want to know what is the skill set you have and all that. We are in Bodo and Bodo medium. Children are very poor, no electricity and all kinds of things. I said, I'll come. You don't believe, 1 week he waited. Every day he'll call. Every evening I will not go. Rain, my daughter is in crash. I can't go, my meeting. 1 week later he said, anybody gets a call from Suja, don't take. She's another corporate person who is just talking about all these things, she won't come. You just ignore it, don't accept, don't respond to the call also. And they ignored all my calls. But in the meantime, I tried to find out what is the way to reach there. Because I identified the organization. I got a friend in Guwahati. She said there are schools in Kendriya Vidyalaya, you can try for admission for my daughter. Anyway, Bodo medium and all that. My daughter got admission in Golpara. I don't know any of you heard about it. That is the #1 district for aspirational districts in India. It's very bad, very poor. So there is a school in Golpara, Kendriya Vidyalaya. Number of students 22 in class 2. Everywhere it is getting admission so difficult. No children there. So we found that it's 1 hour distance between Golpara and Bongegaon. I got her admission through some source, and I'm a single parent. There are a lot more issues. Finally, somehow I got the admission. I went, I called from there. It's 1 hour journey from that place to, because Infosys I'm traveling 2 hours every day, morning and evening. So it's fine. So I called and said, I'm coming. I have, my daughter got admission in Golpara. Sunil said, where are you calling from? I said, I'm calling from Golpara. How did you reach there? I said, I reached her through some source. My daughter got admission in Kendriya Vidyalaya. I want to get an appointment letter from your organization. I am planning to come and work with you. How do you come? I said, from here every day I'll come. No problem. You don't believe, Sunil got a shock in his life. He said, where is your child? I said, child is with me. You got the luggage? I said, yes. You are in. There is no choice. You are in. We are so happy. We want people like you. Believe it or not, within 1 month I realized that things are not working fine. Every day bomb blast, train is has bomb inside. No rain, 4 o'clock it will be night. My child is in some place. I went 2-3 days, I can't go. After everything, I realized that I am becoming a very, very failure. And my area where I lived is so dangerous. It's alpha recruitment base, I believe. And police was coming to my home and they are asking why you came. Are you an informer? Why did you come to work here? All kinds of issues. Finally, we said, we are not going back. Somehow we have to get an admission in Bongegaon. Sunil helped us to get admission in Bongegaon. Somehow we got a Kendriya Vidyalaya transfer. And that changed my life. I went to Assam. I lived in Assam. I lived in Ant. And some 15 SBI fellows are there now. Last month I went. So that is a place I lived and I learned community work. As a university, I can say Dr. Sunil Kaul and Jennifer Liang are the university to learn community work. So they are so good, so ethical and so transparent. I learned everything from there. So 2 years I worked. These are the pictures. That is one office from Infosys, the global campus to an office like that. I was so comfortable, no light. Here is some medical camp which is happening. We used to hand over the free medical camp for people with mental illness. Then that was one photograph we have taken because I was distributing some of the relief material for the violence victims where we may get attacked, so that army was sitting both the sides when I was traveling. Those kind of things, like it was really good. Next. So these are some of the internal projects, which are a lot of things I did along with my regular work. And these are some of the internal projects. I also started something called Nation First, a voter ID campaign, which became one of the largest again. And we made Infosys employees to register for voter ID because usually 20-30% employees will go and vote. They will not go. They will take leave or they will go for movie. And then they will crib about the government. So we said, you take the voter ID, go and vote. So Nation First was the tagline I designed at that time, but now I am seeing everywhere. Some channels I am seeing Nation First, but this was happened in 2014. And you can see global head of HR, Krish Shankar, is doing a mock poll. We did one drive there to say how to go and vote and all that. It was good. And I became a part of the BPAC, Bangalore Political Action Committee, with Kiran Sundar Show and Mohandas Pai. Just 2-3 minutes, I'll finish. So this is one of the Uttarakhand flood project which I have taken. Again, not on sabbatical, personal leave. I took 3 months. I lived there, not for relief, rehabilitation or long-term rehabilitation, but relief work anyway I am not able to do because it's a very tough terrain. I lived there and this is the area where maximum damage happened. It is Mandakini River. I lived with the children of 43 children, all kind of underprivileged background. Uttarakhand is not that poor. People are not underprivileged, but unfortunately the land is like that. So children are there, and I still work with them, and we do a lot of work with them personally. And I send my daughter once in a year for 1 month. She's now 18. So she's going in March for a month. So she'll do some volunteering. These are the children, and children are using my laptop to study something. This is another thing which I did internally, the big plastic pollution, this thing. It came in UN website and all that, and we made it, all the 30, 50 volunteering programs which I did in Infosys with the Clean India initiatives made Infosys decide, maybe not me, there are more people got involved, and it also created a lot of energy. And finally, many people worked together for facility, and Dharavan Kamal was there, and everybody pushed and made Infosys plastic free, one time using plastic. The single-use plastic will completely removed from the across the globe Infosys campus. You will not see a single plastic bottle anywhere. It's glass bottle. That was a big change. Now today they have come everywhere. We have 4 decades of excellence. 2 days back in Infosys, one of the largest event. Everybody who ever wanted water, they are giving the glass bottles. Water. Everybody, thousands of glass bottles, not even a single plastic bottle you will see there. Everything we removed, tissue papers we removed. All those events, whatever we did, it resulted in some of the large change in the company. And this is another, again, we started environmental pollution, the clay Ganesha and all that. When I started, maybe 10 years back, 7 people came for an auditorium to do the workshop. Finally, we found that Mrs. Murthy joining and 1,800 people at a time sitting and working. Mrs. Murthy was so happy. She said, this is the best gift, Suja, you are giving to the company. So it is really good. So many things happened. And this is again borderland, and people are kind of moving to music, dance and all that. I got 2 people talk to me saying that they want to start a music club. This is again borderland, the community empathy continuation I am talking. They started doing some of the music, and we got some little seed money from Bangalore that changed them to convert it in a music group. Maybe after 3 months, 6 months, when I went there, they said they don't have any interest because nobody is coming forward to participate or learn dance or music. We are coming to Bangalore, get us a job in security or cleaning or some hotel job. We wanted to come. I said, no, whatever money we have given, we don't want to take it. You just keep it, use it for whatever you want. You don't believe after 1 year, this is a picture I have taken after 1 year, they brought 36 people to Kanchipuram for a competition. They won the competition, and last year, July, when I went there, 36 teams were formed. 36 teams were formed everywhere in Bodoland, Assam. The first dance was like they performed the first dance for every program. It's a real big impactful project. Maybe my life there is changing some of the landscape, and now another big project I'm working with. We'll see how it works. Right now it started. And this is another project which I am working. I am also again on leave. I'll go stay there. Vrindavan widows. I don't know how many of you heard. I say Vrindavan mothers, and I have 15,000 mothers waiting for me when I go. And it's a big project, and I work with the Sulabh International. If anybody is from Sulabh, please acknowledge me. I'm a part of that team, and I work with the Madan and Vinita. We go there, we live there, and we work for almost 500 women with all the food, everything, taking care of them. So these are some of the projects which I work, and it is all impact of a community work which I did, and sabbatical policy was formulated because of the pressure from people like me and the interest of people like me. I think done, and I'll come back to this. What is the importance of this? It's a bee. Anybody knows the name of this bee? It's called the bumblebee. I got so much from this. I learned so much because I used to see this every day in Assam when I was living, and it's so big. It has flat wings and huge body. It's heavy. It cannot fly as per aerodynamics, but it keeps flying. Same thing for me. I have no qualification on community work. I have no background. I don't have a role in Infosys for community project, but I keep doing. I'll keep doing till my death. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Suja ma'am, for such an inspiring story and your experiential learning. We've really learned a lot. And now I take this opportunity to introduce SriLalit Mohan ji, who joined SBI Foundation as a president and COO in May 2021. Prior to joining SBI Foundation, he was working as a DGM SME at LHO Chandigarh and DGM Business and Operations at Panchkula Module, Chandigarh Circle for last 3 years. With a graduate degree in with a graduate degree in Science and Law and a certified associate Indian Institute of Banking and Finance, he brings in more than 30 years of experience in banking. His important assignments in the bank were as a regional manager at South Mumbai and Buldana regions of the Mumbai Circle. He has worked extensively in the areas of branch operations, retail, credit, MSMEs, agriculture credit, and financial inclusions at all geographies in India. On that note, we would like to now just screen a video from SBI Foundation, a short video. Sorry, we have an issue, technical lag with the sound output, but we do have the titles here, subtitles here.
Graduates with very bright ideas
It's
and
working. Can you
professionally
repeat,
experienced.
please? Sorry.
The SBI Youth for India Fellowship is a fairly unique program. It's one of the most unique fellowships in the country. Young professionals, fresh graduates get to come to rural India and live and work and be part of the communities with which they're working. It's a 13-month fellowship. It's a very good mix of fresh graduates with very bright ideas and professionally experienced people like me from various fields. There are thematic areas, there's livelihood, there's women empowerment, there's village democracy, so many others. I came to the fellowship because I wanted to work in education in rural areas. ग्रामिका हाई स्कूल कंकिया में 2014 से फेलोज आ रहे हैं और लगभग हर बैच में कोई ना कोई फेलो रहता है. The beautiful thing about that place is काम पे काम build होता जाता है. तो on one hand, yes, new things are getting introduced. Computer lab जो है, कृष्णा जी was a fellow of the first batch, started working with Oracle, उन्होंने शुरू किया था. अब computer schedule का part हो गया है. Now we have a teacher who is doing that. और जो फेलोज आते गए वो अपना तो कुछ लाते ही गए, बट दे ऑल्सो केप्ट बिल्डिंग. देयर हैव बीन फेलोज हु हैव वर्कड ऑन बिल्डिंग टीचर कैपेसिटीज फॉर कंप्यूटर टीचिंग ऑल्सो, क्योंकि वो भी नहीं था. देयर इज कल्पना धाम व्हिच इज एन आर्ट एंड क्रिएटिव सेंटर. देयर हैव बीन वर्क डन ऑन स्पोर्ट्स कैपेसिटी बिल्डिंग. करियर काउंसलिंग होता है जो कि पहले नहीं होता था, एंड इट कीप्स एक्सपैंडिंग.
जो फॉर्मल होने से काम होता है, हम लोग को भी एक दिशा मिला है. ऐसे अगर कंटिन्यूस प्रोसेस में हम लोग काम करेंगे, हमको सक्सेस मिलेगा. वो दिशा हमको दिखा दी. कोई लोग 13 महीना कंप्लीट करने के बाद फॉरेन से वापस आते हैं बच्चे को मिलने के लिए, टीचर को मिलने के लिए. कुछ लोग सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं फाइनेंशियली, बच्चे को, ट्राइबल बच्चे को सपोर्ट कर रहे हैं आगे बढ़ने के लिए, पढ़ने के लिए. इसमें बच्चे का बहुत भलाई होगा, स्कूल का भलाई होगा, ग्राम विकास का भी भलाई होगा और कम्युनिटी का भी भलाई होगा.
What the fellowship provides is a connect between these two, and what it does is allows people to work together in a way which is otherwise not possible. जब आप वहाँ रहते हो तब आपको पता चलता है कि practically क्या possible है, क्या possible नहीं है, and that is where the good ideas come from. So I think that's what the fellowship does for you.
So this brings us to the panel discussion. The first question from my side and from all of us researching how sabbatical is so unique program and a commitment for a long-term volunteering and a serious commitment living in difficult terrains like you. First question will be post-pandemic, how do you think while we are getting back to the basics, how has the sabbaticals and fellowships evolved in India? Your views on it, please.
So thank you, Tanu, for the question. Good evening, all. And thank you, Suja Madam, for the detailed volunteering you have done. It's quite motivating. So COVID time, if you talk about the COVID time, this was a difficult time. And I, being from the bank as well from the foundation part of the bank, have seen both the side of the coin. So when the COVID strike, I was at the operations. And I think since day one, banking was declared as essential services. So volunteering to the bank comes naturally, is in veins and bloods of the bank. And since day one, we were working at the branches and doing whatever in our might we can do. I think distribution, even at the time when COVID strikes, even basic thing like mask was not being produced in India. So getting collected those masks, getting done funding through ourselves, and I think distribution of masks, PPE kit, visiting to the hospitals, see that proper beds are there or not. So as a part of volunteering, you can say as a part of the CSR program, we were doing all these things. And now I have joined the foundation. So this is a dedicated CSR arm of the State Bank of India and established in 2015. And though CSR bank is going since 1970s, is not a new thing to the bank. Keeping in view our outreach and our number of branches we are having in India. Every nook and corner you will find Indian military and State Bank branch. So whether you go to the Gunji in Uttarakhand or you talk about the China border, you talk about the Siachen, you will find bank ATM, bank branches. So that is well ingrained. If we talk about this fellowship, just you have seen, the unique CSR program, and this is one of the top fellowships in the country. Madam was also discussing about the ANT experience and 15 fellows there. So bank came out with this fellowship in I think 2010, and this is now we are the 12th year running, and between two batches were not there, so this is the 10th batch. So bank came out ki 10% of employees will be given sabbatical, who will join the fellowship on the bank part, and they will understand and live with the community. And I think thanks to our CSOs who guide the fellows, who mentor the fellows at the ground. So this is something unique CSR program was built where employees from the State Bank were coming as a volunteer, and right now 40 plus, near about 50 employees have joined this program, and some of them are continuing in SBI Foundation as an employee of the foundation also after doing their fellowships. So every nook and corner you will find a fellow. Just I met a friend of Rashwin who is from Bangalore, and this was calling Rashwin. He was at the end. So so this is something the trail our fellows are creating. So now we have a strong alumni of 520. And if you talk about the volunteering and sabbatical, both things are in the organization and the foundations. And if you talk about the volunteering from the SBI Foundation employees, so we designed a very unique CSR program. Recently, after this COVID, mental health become very pertinent issue and very prominent challenges. So we tied up with TIS Mumbai to design a mental health school curriculum. That program has to be built in the school curriculum. So if any mental health issues are there, so maybe at the peer level, maybe at the teachers level, how to handle those children, those who are suffering from the mental health issues. So our employees becomes the welfare ambassador of that program by giving 1 day in a month for that, going to the schools and collaborating with the TIS employees as well as the teachers of the schools to take this program forward. And small way we tied up with BMC in D-Ward, Mumbai, where the plastic waste was a menace. So as to support that program, this is CSR program. But volunteering part, if we say that we go for the beach cleanup activities in Mumbai. So every month employees join for the beach cleanup activities. So this is done in a small way. So that's in short.
Yeah. Actually, when it comes to sabbatical, I keep telling people, whoever is moving out, you have to have some skills. Also, you have to be ready to accept what is coming from there. Like we are in a company where everything is international standard, including the drinking water, the space, the cleaning, the campus, and everything is so nice. From here, with that enthusiasm, you will go to a community, and most of the time they will get tired. I found many people come back in 3 months, and I found the way we do this sabbatical is like we will give them leave 6 months to 1 year, and now it is on hold because of the pandemic, because not many people are applying. What happened is they will go, and here everything is in a mouse click. Like you want a laptop, maybe one day you'll get it. Then you want a extension phone, it is coming. This is something which we are so much used to it. But when it goes to another organization, you may have to go and post a letter. Everything is so challenging, which has to be accepted. Also, you should have some skills to work with the community. You cannot do any of those volunteering we are doing in the corporate with the community, because it is a totally different space. So I keep telling volunteers, whoever is taking the sabbatical, say that you have to have one skill at least to work with the community, maybe administrative skills and English. Maybe you can teach English to the students, or maybe you can't do small volunteering, because they are also investing some time from their office staff, very limited staff, to help you and teach you whatever we need. And then if I found many of them go to the comfort zone of working with a school. We found some of the volunteers have taken sabbatical and worked with the school half day, and because we are paying some salary, and whether they are paying salary or not, we don't know. They will work half day, and balance of the time they will manage. And then they will, another thing which we found is some people will come back and ask for support from the organization. Please help me with the construction of the building. All those things we may not be able to do. So decide what you want to do and concentrate. Maybe you have to have one skill set at least when you go for sabbatical, and because it is, you are spending almost 6 months to 1 year. Mostly I found many people are taking sabbatical for 6 months. Just, and in our organization is very particular that volunteering is your personal space. If you want to volunteer, and we are giving you leave, and we are also giving a part salary, which is as a safe net, because you can take that money. If the organization doesn't give also, you can manage. To be very frank, when I was in Assam, whatever that part salary come, I was living like a king. Like everything is very minimum there, and you don't even have a shop to go and buy something. It's such a village which people will come into the market with whatever small things, and evening they'll sit and a banana or something. You maximum spending is maybe 10-15 rupees for a snacks or something. Nothing to buy there. So we have money at that point of time, whatever company has given. So many people prefer to stay in the city only, so that they will have all the comforts. Very few people have moved out of this comfort zone and work with the government projects, large government projects. And I found many of them moved out later. Some of them moved out and started working with the village development program, and changing, big change happening. Government projects and army people are working. So it is that interest which we are helping them to give the time and the support for. Then you have to come back and work for 1 year. If you want to leave after 1 year, you can leave. That is the thing. And also according to the rating from the organization you are working, when you come back, you get the appraisal rating here. The organization gives a good rating, that will be the rating for that one particular year. I took 2 years as an exception because my work started and everybody was very happy. They said you can take, and usually if you take 1 more year, they will not give the salary. But for me, they have given that part salary.
So my next question would be, how can the volunteer sabbaticals initiatives be structured in a manner to focus on issues that need immediate attention and contribute to the national priorities in India? So how can we structure the fellowships in a way that it contributes to India's development agenda? Yeah.
No, I wanted to see now it is on hold, but I wanted to tell the team that whenever we select a project, maybe it has to be aligned with the national interest, whatever is there, so that when an employee with the skill set which we have, technology, management, and the Infosys process of selection, once you select, he or she must be a very best candidate. So that capability can be utilized for some of the project outside. That is something which I think we have to select the projects accordingly. Then it will be a contributor to the national level, the program, whatever it does.
So, if we see the macro picture, what we are suffering from India, if we talk about the India, so definitely the fellowship has to be aligned to the causes which are affecting our country, which are affecting our people, and are going to affect. So, if we talk about in terms of the Human Development Index, so where we are lagging, if you talk about the education, standard of education, health parameters, and standard of living, so many malnourished children are in India. So all these problems are quite grave and are the national priorities. So we try to build our CSR program in and around these priorities. And particularly our Wi-Fi fellows are also, there are 10-12 thematic areas. But basically the maximum fellows took education as one of the topmost priority area, and then rural development part. So the fellowship is built in and around those national priorities. Now grave problem is coming as a climate change. So effects of climate change, the problem of heating up. So these are the challenges, and particularly we are into the innovation space also, where we support the startups to have some solutions to these problems, which the result will be forthcoming, maybe some better technologies to cope up with these challenges in future. So that's the overall idea where the focus that the fellowship should be aligned in future.
In the proximity of time limit, I'll now invite all of you to ask questions, if any, from the esteemed panel speakers. Yes. I think we can go with you. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Supriya. I work at Amazon. My question is, some companies don't have sabbatical policy. So we being at mid-level management, how can we initiate the discussion or influence the top-level management to create that policy? Thank you.
Definitely. You come back to me. I will definitely help you out how to kind of proceed with the conversation, because you have to put a case study, like you have to inform the management that this will impact. If you have volunteer programs, definitely they will accept, because from the volunteer program, internal, external programs, this will emerge. I can help you out with the way how to proceed.
Sure. Thank you so much.
My answer will be learned from the Suja's madam experiences in the past. So you have to somehow showcase to your management. You have, if you want to do the advocacy part. So some like-minded young people like you have to showcase that this is the need of the hour. This is the things we want to do. And Amazon is a multinational company. In the US, number of companies give the sabbatical. So why not in India? So can happen, but I think that resolve is required. What Suja has.
Inspirational to hear about your journey. My question is, the sabbatical thing, how common it is across companies in India, because there are wonderful 2 case stories already. How common it is, because from an NGO perspective, how discoverable that is. Like, because you might be having your own criteria of selecting organizations, but when it comes to organizations genuinely needing, because this profile is unique. These people are your employees who are very skilled, they are ready to commit a year or 2 in sabbatical. So 2 quick questions. One is that how do you sort of identify the people who are ready for a sabbatical? Because it needs a lot of sensitization in terms of being ready to step out and do it. They might be having the skills, but the right kind of readiness and mindset to come out and do it is a difficult choice. So how do you identify and make them ready to step into it and do really meaningful work? And the second bit is, how do NGOs discover these sabbatical opportunities where they can possibly reach out with their needs? And there's a perfect match between corporates offering it and NGOs benefiting from it. Thank you.
One is I can say that most of the volunteers are interested in the children. Nobody wanted to work with autistic children or disability or some of the things which are very difficult to handle type. So many of them are interested in school programs, and I found very few people. I don't know about all other organization. I found that the large number of volunteers will come for 1 day drive, like maybe a lake restoration, lake cleaning, not even restoration, lake cleaning. Thousands of people will come. Notebook distribution, 100 people will come. Like that, people will come, but not for a regular program. I started one school project from my side, 21 volunteers in the first day for a school of 50 children. I don't know what to do with those volunteers. They wanted to do teaching the board, they wanted to write something, all those things. So I said, no, we cannot have these kind of things. You have to have. So next week, maybe after 4th week, I found only me there. Nobody is there. People stop coming. So they are not having that interest on a continuous basis. But as an NGO or an organization who are looking for sabbatical long-term this thing, you have to list out the opportunities available. If the opportunities attracts a volunteer from an organization like Amazon kind of people, if many, I don't know how many organizations have this policy. That also we have to identify. Not many people. SBI, I know, a fellowship program, I know about it, and Infosys has the sabbatical. Right now it is not happening. It may pick up again. There are IBM, I heard earlier it was there. So some of the organization, list out the organization, approach them, these are the options available, and you should have a clear job profile. What is the role they are going to do? Most of them interested in sitting technical work or whatever. Maybe you can, even online volunteering, you can give it to them if they don't want to come to your place and all that. And the salary and other things, you can talk to them. And if the company is giving some salary, it is well and good. Otherwise, anyway, you cannot match the salary which they are getting from the office. So list out the options available. If they attract, also reach out to the organizations. I can definitely connect with Infosys, not a problem. So those kind of organizations check out and list out the profiles, and most of the people may be interested little bit in the beginning for some small community work. I am telling you, it will not stay. They will come back. They will come back. I've seen many people moved out 3 months, they will come back. They cancel the policy, this thing, leave and come back. Or maximum 6 months they will stay. Nobody had taken more than 6 months. I am and one more person. So government projects some people are taking. So the work has to be interesting for them, that's all. And find out the organizations which are doing this. And she has my contact number. You can always reach out to me.
So very rightly said, Suja madam. Just to add that there are 3 P's. One is profit, which the corporate looks for. Whenever there is a question of volunteering or sabbatical comes, they ultimately worried what will happen to the work, what will happen to our working hours. And another 2 P's are people and planet. So those who are volunteering, those who are doing taking sabbatical for social development work are concerned about people and planet. So somehow you have to convince your management that other 2 P's are very important other than profit. So things will be much easier. That's all.
Thank you.
Another thing I want to tell is when it comes to Infosys sabbatical policy, they were very, very particular that whoever have the top 10% for the last 3 consecutive years, or maybe 1 or 2 rating, not the 3 and 4, the lowest, 1 or 2 rating only will get the leave, 6 months to 1 year, because we don't want to send a person who is not a poor performer to a community work. The person has to be a high performer in the company. Otherwise, okay, the poor performer is going for community work. No. So it is a mandate. Minimum 2 years plus the performance has to be high, and then interest area. That's all. And the company will not check every day what you are doing and all that. They will not ask.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Wanted to ask, sabbatical and fellowship we are talking about, how are they different? Sabbatical is giving us a safety net and Infosys, but what is fellowship giving? And I also want to know, when the people come back, do they stay? I mean, yours is a case, is definitely you're there, but do the people, after experiencing such a thing, do they stay longer in the company? Are they still part of the company and they're performing? What has the feedback given to the company? Have their performance increased much more, or are they truly more believing in the company? What is it?
So, yes, so thank you for the question. When we talk about the sabbatical, particularly in reference to the State Bank of India, there are different types of sabbatical. One is for the fellowship, is something for the limited purpose of taking, suppose we take 100 fellows in a year, to 10% and comes from the State Bank of India. So this is 13 months paid leave to the employees. They will get their full salaries. Here they will get some small stipend also for the fellowship program, and they immerse into the program completely for the full 13 months. Everything is protected, and I think they return to the bank rejuvenated. I think they have feel that social development sector, and I think empathy in their heart. So they prove to be a better employees. So that is the result of being in the fellowship. And sabbatical are for other purposes also, like bank was first to introduce women sabbatical for 2 years. So that is for the different purpose. Maybe they have to pursue some higher studies, or maybe the family way, so they want to take sabbaticals. So that is something as a HR incentive, you can say, or as the employee benefit things. And definitely the benefit of volunteering or the fellowship are much more in sabbatical, particularly when there is a burnout issues, when you have worked intensively for 6-7 years in an organization, you want some break. So definitely it gives you that energy, it gives you that enthusiasm. When you return back, you will work much higher. And I think in that case, I think international, we have seen that retrenchment are less than 3% in such cases. So where the organizations are giving sabbatical to their employees, or asking them or promoting them to do some volunteering work. So this is something, the data is available for that. I think Tanu is the right person to.
Thank you. I'd like to add to what Lalitji just told. The real example and live example or case study for us would be the alumni chapters of SBI Fellowship. So this is a program where they recently received 90,000 applications. And how many?
So I think this is for the, you are talking about 8th batch, when I think this was the COVID time, during COVID time, no, just after COVID time. We received for 100 fellowship position, we received 90,000 applications. So ultimately, with a rigorous selection process running into 4 stages, further shortlisting again, then to more than 600, 700 were interviewed. And I think we were for the 2-3 months on the different panels. Ultimately 100 were offer letter went to 150 plus, and ultimately 90 plus joined. So, and this time also we have made some process more stringent. So we received 50,000 applications this time also. So 76 fellows joined this time.
Or the fellowship also from that. Is the organization expecting the employee, like for example, one of the employees from SKM, and she went on for fellowship. Is it expected that once they come back, they have to, educate, or they have to extend what they have been doing in their sabbatical leave, and encourage, more of volunteering, and, engage more employees into volunteering? Is there any criteria added to it, or it's completely on the personal front the organization is providing it?
No, there is nothing like that. When they come back, the minimum thing is 1 year they have to stay back in the organization. Mostly what will happen is when they come back, they usually do some presentation here, there and all that. That will inspire more people. But company doesn't have any mandate. So that is one part. I wanted to come back to your question. The question you asked me whether they stay back. To be very frank, when I came back, I didn't want to stay back. But I was forced to stay back. 1 year it's mandated. So I stayed back. And I kept on telling I want to come out, I want to work with some organization or other. And whoever I met, I said I want to come out, this is not my area, I want to move out. But everybody said, Suja, don't move out, stay back, because we want you to be inside. So that we have a connect with emphasis. And if you move out, then you will work with one organization, you will ask for the support for those organizations, you will go around with a begging bowl. You have to be inside. So I keep telling that it is for you, I am sitting inside. It's not for me. But I think that made a difference. For me, I found that inside is better for me, even though my mind is outside. and I'm continuing my work, whether I'm working in infrastructure. And actually, because of this community project or volunteering, I can say volunteering is the theme for all the projects. Rohini likes me so much. Rohini used to say that she loves me actually. So I'm very happy that because of my volunteering, whenever I took that decision, when the volunteering and CSR come into the existence, I was already there. So people used to come and people used to ask me, and I found myself taking care of my body and my health so well that none of the things are belonging to me. All my organs are already donated. Hair is keep donating every year. My skin is getting donated whenever I die. So I have to take care of myself. So the volunteering helped me become an individual totally kind of different. And now my daughter's eyes are also donated. So everything is kind of for giving. I found the giving is such a powerful feeling. It's beautiful. And I made everybody to think in that direction with whenever I have a conversation with employees.
Thank you everyone for being the lovely audience. Thank you so much. It was really inspiring. And I think more corporates should come up with these policies. And yes, there should be a business case. And at the same time, yes, at the NGO sector also, we must work out certain programs to plug in and, with the sabbaticals and fellowship programs and promote it more in India like it's happening in the West. On that note, thank you so much. Trees have been planted on your behalf and that's your QR code to geotag and see the location. Thank you. Thank you, Lalit Mohan ji, for inspiring messages and sharing your journey with us. 5 trees have been planted on your behalf as well. Yes.